Executive English for whistleblower updates. Preserve privilege. When a whistleblower matter arises, the words you choose matter more than you might expect. Carefully crafted updates help protect legal privilege and board confidentiality, preventing sensitive information from becoming discoverable or public. Wording also shapes perception. A single definitive sentence can lead stakeholders to premature conclusions, so phrasing influences how directors and others interpret developments. At the same time, you must balance transparency for directors with legal risk management. Give the board enough to govern without waiving protections. Finally, tone matters. Your language sets the tone for internal and external communications, signaling prudence, seriousness, and respect for process. To preserve privilege, follow a few clear principles in every update. First, limit factual details to what directors need to know. Avoid unnecessary specifics that could be shared outside privileged channels. Second, avoid definitive language about wrongdoing or findings. Don't present allegations as established facts. Third, always use privileged channels and involve legal counsel so communications remain within protected conversations. Fourth, explicitly frame updates as privileged and for the board's deliberation only, reminding recipients that the content is confidential and intended to inform governance, not public disclosure. How you begin an update sets legal and practical boundaries. Open with purpose, for example, for the board's privileged consideration, which signals protected status from the outset. Clearly state the matter's status using phrases like preliminary, under review by counsel, so readers understand the information is not final. If details are intentionally limited, say so. Details limited to preserve privilege makes the reason explicit. Finally, name counsel's role, reported to general counsel for assessment, to show that legal oversight is managing next steps and to discourage informal sharing. When describing allegations, keep the account high-level and neutral. Summarize allegations at a high level only. Focus on the nature of the concern rather than a play-by-play of events. Avoid attribution by using phrases like an allegation rather than naming who did what, which reduces the risk of wrongful public identification. Rely on conditional language, if substantiated or alleged, to avoid implying guilt before investigation. Reserve detailed specifics and source information for confidential counsel briefings, where those details can be protected within privileged advice. When reporting progress, emphasize process and milestones rather than granular facts. Report status milestones, not investigative facts. For example, note that interviews have been scheduled or a forensic review has begun. Use neutral status phrases like investigation ongoing and no conclusion yet to remind the board that findings are preliminary. Describe concrete actions taken, commenced review, preserved documents, or retained external counsel, so directors know governance steps were implemented. Crucially, avoid commentary on motive, cause, or likely outcomes, which can prejudice future proceedings or public perception. When presenting next steps, make recommendations concise, legal-focused, and options-based. Lead with legal counsel's recommended next steps, summarizing the advice in 1 or 2 clear sentences. Use options language, recommend considering, or counsel advises to keep the decision with the board and avoid issuing managerial directives. Avoid operational details or orders. Frame items as board deliberation points so directors can weigh governance implications. Always tie recommendations to governance priorities, risk mitigation and fiduciary duty, so the board sees how action protects the organization. Keep a short checklist handy for every update. Do. Invoke privilege in counsel and use conditional wording to avoid asserting facts. Do. Keep detail minimal. Focus on status, preserved actions, and next steps rather than investigative minutiae. Don't. Make definitive findings or publicly name individuals, which risks defamation and loss of privilege. Don't. Use emotive or speculative language that can inflame stakeholders or leak into public narratives. Following these simple do's and don'ts reduces legal exposure while keeping the board appropriately informed. The central lesson is straightforward. Wording protects privilege and corporate interests. Use high-level, conditional, counsel-framed updates so directors receive the context they need without jeopardizing legal protections. Prioritize communicating through legal channels and frame messages as matters for board deliberation, not public disclosure. When language or detail could affect privilege, err on the side of restraint. And most importantly, when in doubt, consult counsel before communicating. That single step preserves options and ensures governance decisions are made with full legal awareness.